Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Unregimented. ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And now, here are your hosts.
It's Thursday, April 8th. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
Rich is essential, so Rich is not with us. Actually, no, it's going to be the 9th. My bad.
He's out there braving the streets.
Yeah. So he'll be back tomorrow. He'll be back for Friday. But, no, we felt the burn for the final time.
Oh, it's the final burn that we're feeling now.
And
the hardest burn of all.
Yeah, because this is it, right? Because 4 years from now, he's 80-something, and he's probably not doing this again.
Well, I hope that they just send him straight to isolation, right? Because Bernie has a lot of spunk still in him. Like another run at the presidency, I don't know about that. It's not impossible, but I still don't feel like his work is done. And let's not have Bernie kick from the COVID-19. Let's just send him to a bunker for a few months, and then he can come out. Tell us what we're all doing wrong again.
We're sending him to a farm like he's a dog when we're 5. We're sending him to the farm, everybody.
No, not like that. We're not going to turn him into Soylent Green.
No, yeah, we don't.
Just save Bernie. Like, yeah, your work is done. Great job. You should have maybe called it a little while ago, but okay, so just go away for a while. We will miss you, but when all this shit's over with, you can come back and remind us how we're fucking up.
Yeah, we need his ideals. We need his spirit.
Well, I think we do. I mean, Bernie didn't win, right? Bernie got close, and then I think a lot of people chickened out at the last minute and said, no, we want really traditional, good old white boy traditional. And
I think the DNC screwed him again.
Oh, they totally did. Oh, that's a totally separate issue. No, I think it's a combination.
Like how half the field quit in a weekend right before Super Tuesday. Come on, man. Do they really think they're that dumb?
Yeah. If Bernie wasn't such a class act, if that was me, and I'd be on that debate stage, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you and fuck you.
You're all a bunch of fuckheads. Thanks for screwing me over, every single last one of you dicks. And you flip them off and you leave.
But the real problem here is that we're stuck in a two-party system, right? Bernie kind of ran as a Democrat out of, he just had no other options. What was he going to do? Run as a Republican?
Didn't he?
And if he runs as a third party, then he has absolutely no chance of winning.
Why is
So
there something in my brain about him running as an independent at some point for something?
I believe he did. Yeah.
Like, was it for president or was it for when he initially ran for senator?
I think it was I thought Bernie was an independent and then registered as a Democratic in order to run for the presidency because he knew that he didn't want to be a third party candidate.
That sounds right. Let's go with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I might not be absolutely correct, but that was my understanding of Bernie.
That sounds right-ish.
That he was traditional. He's traditionally independent anyways. He doesn't vote in step with the Democratic Party.
Sounds right enough for this show.
And he does it enough times that, that the Democrats consider him a dino, you might say, a Democrat in name only. And they fucking Nancy Kerrigan'd his ass.
Mm-hmm. Twice. Because they did it 4 years ago, too.
Yeah.
This
true.
Time they were more subtle about it. I mean, 4 years ago, they were just like, no, not your turn. Sorry.
Well, not exactly subtle. It's just like when it's all done in unison, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Is Bernie going to go to war with his own party over this issue? I'm glad that he didn't, Okay, so there's two major things that I wanted to point out about Bernie before we forget him. One, that he really did do a lot to change this race.
Mm-hmm.
Biden is talking about stuff that he wouldn't be talking about if Bernie didn't run.
Yeah.
And
he's talking about student loan debt forgiveness. He's talking about Medicare for all.
Well, he's not full on for Medicare for all.
He's talking about something like it.
He's talking about healthcare reform, and I think that I don't think that he would be pushing as hard for that to be a platform issue if it wasn't for the fact that Bernie was talking about it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really who he was running against. I mean, running against Trump, he just seems to be concentrated on, hey, wouldn't you like it? Not an asshole.
He helped Joe realize.
I was going to say somebody who could put a couple sentences
left.
together, but that faculty seems to be waning quickly.
Correct.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
He helped. He helped Joe realize the temperature of the room on the left.
Yes. He helped and Joe's campaign realize what opportunities there were on the far left, what you needed to say to bring those people into the fold. Mm-hmm. And sure, there's some really passionate Bernie voters out there, right? And a lot of people who said, oh, if Bernie doesn't get the nomination, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, that's what you're expected to say, right? Especially when you're really pushing for and passionate for your candidate, you don't want to leverage your answers with, well, I love Bernie, but if he doesn't get it, then I'm definitely voting for so-and-so. It's more like a negotiation, you don't want to say your actual number. So,
yeah. Don't show your hand.
Right. So I understand like that as rhetoric up until this point. Now, people still saying that are deluded, and I don't know what world they want to live in or what country they want to move to where things are going to work better for them. I don't know what their plan is to develop invent something that allows you to go to an alternate dimension where he gets the nomination and then you can vote for him.
I mean, cool. We've invented interdimensional time travel.
Sure, yeah. Right. You get you can have infinite versions of Spider-Man and Bernie. You could go into the Bernieverse. You could vote for Bernie in every alternate world that you can find, but you can't vote for him here. Well, you know what? You can. He's going to be on the ballot, but you know what? It isn't going to count towards shit. No. I correct myself again. It is going to count towards shit, isn't it? A vote for Bernie is going to be a direct vote for Trump. It's not a message. It's not cross my fingers, hold out like maybe something will happen and it'll just miraculously get the nomination.
It's a vote taken away from the Democratic. It's a vote taken away from the Democratic challenger.
And every one of those is a vote for Trump. Yes.
Neat.
So I don't know. Yeah. He made a difference while he was here, and he also didn't bullshit, and he didn't go low.
One of the few people who didn't.
He managed to get that far without bullshitting, trying to fudge numbers,
Even when Liz Warren tried to take him to task on national TV with mics open, he was like, "No, not right now." He played it cool. He's like, "Not here. This ain't the time to do this shit."
He got pretty damn close to the Democratic nomination, and by telling people, yeah, some of you are going to pay more taxes. This is how the system works. You want money for stuff, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, if anything, like Bernie, I respect as a person. This moment we should mark because I don't know if we're going to see another politician like Bernie. At least not in a presidential race. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? You know, maybe all this shit, Trump pulls out another win and people just get sick of traditional politicians altogether.
Why is his boner so hard up against voting in the mail?
Trump?
Yeah. Like because he keeps saying because he can cheat. And I'm with you. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, I have a history book, Chicago, 60s. Haha, great. What are your examples? Because he keeps saying, because I'm with you in this camp. You finally got me into this camp. Like, you keep saying there's widespread voter fraud. Where? Give me examples.
You got to show me more than a dozen cases. More than a dozen. Because, when you're talking about vote, like, millions and millions of people are voting all across the nation. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your margin of error is going to be more than a dozen people. So you really, in order for voter fraud to even be an actual problem that needs to be addressed, it would have to be more widespread, larger than the margin of error for any given election in order to actually impact it. Otherwise, you'd have a recount anyway. So yeah, he said, like, Trump has come out and said this. And I could probably find the clip for you when he was, I think it was on Fox and Friends, or he called into one of the Fox shows. And he just said flat out, the high voter turnout is not good for us. Not good for Republicans.
Well, yeah, historically, it's not.
Yeah. And that's what he's looking at. Voting by mail means easier to vote, which means that voting by mail not only means that we get to adhere to social distancing, it means that more people get the opportunity to actually do it and not have to take a day off work, not have to arrange a ride, not have to stand in a line. That's going to be a major factor, and that's going to increase voter turnout. But, I love the reporter who said, well, you voted by mail. And the last time that you voted, you didn't vote in person, you voted by mail. And he said, yeah, so that's me.
The last time I voted, the 2018 election in Michigan, I voted by mail because I was going to be out of town. I had my absentee ballot. But don't understand, the system's already there. We just all vote absentee. Everyone get your absentee ballot. Done.
Right. And this issue of fraud, if doing things by mail, doing things remotely left us more vulnerable to fraud, then the government would probably be setting up local IRS offices in every major city, and we would be paying our taxes in fucking person.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's another thing.
It's good. Again, my argument: if it's good enough for fucking money,
yes,
it's good enough for voting.
Every time he does that, and I'm watching it with the wife, I bring it up. I'm like, Air talks about this all the time on Unregimented. Like, it's good enough for our money. It's good enough for their money. I'm sure the United States doesn't go to the fucking bank. All right, I'm sure they do electronic ACHs as well. So, good enough for money, not good enough for voting. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't make any sense. And at least Trump's upfront about it.
Yeah, sure.
But this is one of those things that these things go straight to the courts, and this being if we're talking about November election, voting by mail, this is going to get to the Supreme Court in a hurry. Mm-hmm. And I don't like those odds.
Yeah.
And I understand that this is kind of a touchy issue, because I think, yesterday or the day before we were talking about voting, and I was like, well, it should just happen, right? It shouldn't be a knee-jerk reaction type of thing. Like, we got to change it because of this. We got to react to that. Like, it just needs to be something that happens no matter what. So, this idea, it would be nice if we had mail-in voting already set in place, but we don't. So to actually call off an election, even a primary election, no, I don't really agree with that. If that's your option to just call it off or even moving it, you might as well call it off, especially in a primary.
So you're going to be pro the outbreak that's going to be in Wisconsin in 2 weeks?
No, well, I saw the footage and people were, social distancing. And that's the thing, these things aren't spreading in instances where people are aware of it. They're aware of it. They're keeping their distance. They are making sure to not touch their face. I'm sure all the poll workers were doing things like wearing masks and gloves. They were cleaning machines, all this type of stuff. Yes, it can happen, but that's not the major outbreaks happen where either people just have no idea that they're even spreading it or just oblivious to it, or they're just doing completely stupid things like having parties. So, yeah, it's a touchy issue. I think we should have mail-in voting no matter what. But, if the courts are probably going to say that voting is not something that you want to tamper with willy-nilly. And yes, this is a big deal that we're going through right now. The whole world is, right? We've all talked about the new normal. We don't know what the new normal is going to be like, and it might go back to the real normal. This might be just a blip. Maybe it happens once a decade, just enough so that we let our guards down and get completely sideswiped every single time it comes. Mm-hmm. But that might be the actual new normal. So we will. So to say to react to make major changes to the way that we vote, one of the most important things that we do in this country, because of what happened one summer, it's a reactionary thing. And I kind of agree that you shouldn't be reactionary. But that being said, I don't think that mail-in voting is reactionary. I think you put together a competent plan and put it in place. We have plenty of time to do that right now.
We already have absentee voting. Why just tell it? You vote absentee.
Yeah. Well, we do have absentee voting and we have it in more places than ever. Even Michigan now, we can all absentee vote without reason. Mm-hmm. But there is still an issue with absentee voting. It's not the majority of votes because they don't always get there on time. There's an issue with them being counted properly sometimes. So the problem with absentee voting is that it's an auxiliary process that's kind of tacked on to it, right? It's like bonus. It's like extra credit. It's not actually integrated into the actual voting system and counted out at the same time that they're tallying the votes on election day.
You got the things rolling around in my head about the Supreme Court, and I do think there's a way out with the current Supreme Court we have, but they're going to have to wrap themselves in the Constitution and not procedure. That's the thing. If they want to get all hung up on procedure,
what's the constitutional angle on this? Because they're constitutionalists, according to most of the people.
Voting is your right, and you do it no matter what. Now, if they're going to wrap themselves in procedure, that's where we're going to get mired down. Like what Trump said, it's got to be in person. You got to go to a booth.
Right.
No,
but this is where
your vote can count in a different way.
Sure. But this is why we have courts when rights butt their heads up against each other. So we have the right to vote, but we also have the right to be safe, right? We have the right to expect that our government is keeping us safe, not just from people invading us, but from diseases invading us.
You just trusted the internet for my census data. Why can't you trust it for my vote?
Yeah, exactly.
I did my census on my phone in my living room while hitting my vape pen. Why can't we do this for voting? Census data we don't consider census data that sensitive. You gave me a code to access it, so you might.
Yeah, there needs to be a lot of changes to the voting process, but I don't know.
Call Simon Cowell. Consult the producers of American Idol. They will give you advice.
Just like money in politics is going to be an issue that we're never going to fully address because we're always going to be in whack-a-mole mode of chasing down, trying to figure out how to deal with this virus and then how to pull ourselves out of a recession and not make it a depression after that, and then how to prepare ourselves for the next one. And we're just going to be constantly in this mode. So I think we missed the mile marker for making any meaningful changes to our political system. I fear we're going to have a bit of a stretch of cowering in fear and hoping that daddy government shelters us. We're just going to be looking for it. If the government can just keep me from dying, I'll be happy and say that they do a good job.
Yeah, that's you and I have the same low bar. Just don't kill me.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
I'm not expecting much.
Yeah.
Unregimented. ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Reinvent yourself at UCLA Extension. Explore continuing education programs to enhance and expand your skill set. Gain real-world skills taught by industry experts that you can apply immediately. Learn from anywhere and choose from a wide variety of online courses in entertainment, digital technology, business, engineering, and more. Winter quarter begins January 4th. Learn more at uclaextension.edu.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net. Unregimented.
You know how I know shit's getting back to normal? We're getting closer.
Is it?
No, you know how I know shit is getting closer to getting back to normal? We're on that right road. Somebody asked Trump today about pardoning Joe Exotic. I swear to fucking God. That happened. Did you see that?
Well,
did you see the clips? I'm sure the internet was on that. I mean, I took a picture of my TV and sent it to you guys. I didn't even know that guy. I was like, this person just asked Trump about Joe Exotic.
That guy looks like a man baby, too.
Well, and the
guy who asked the question.
The look he had on his face and he's doing it, he knew what he's fucking doing.
Like, did somebody dare you?
Yeah, right? Yeah, someone's buying you a drink after this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it because I know these press conferences are supposed to be about addressing coronavirus, but for as long as Trump is up there, like, go ahead and just occupy him with random questions. You should keep him from talking about coronavirus at all.
Yeah.
Just fucking rope-a-dope him. Just keep him busy for a half hour. He'll tucker himself out, and then the doctors can get up and tell us all what's up.
Yeah, he had no idea who Joe Exotic was. He says he's going to look into pardoning. He says he's going to look into pardoning him.
I didn't watch the clip because I have one episode left of Tiger King. So I'm assuming they've already showed the clips of him talking from jail. Yes. So I know that we know at this point that he's gone to jail for giving some idiot $3,000 to go sit in a motel for a while.
Exactly.
Like,
you really get down to it.
Fuck off. Like,
that's why I went to jail.
For.
Yeah, hope it was worth it. All right, now I could talk like you know the ending now, because that's the ultimate ending. Is Joe's in jail.
Yeah, and deservedly so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's how I was like, okay, all right, cool. We're getting we're on the road back to normal. All right. Because I've tapped out of the press conference.
You're saying we're ready to laugh again?
Well, no, I've tapped out of the press conference every day this week, just because it's like I told you, it's not informative. We're not giving me information. Done. We're out of here.
Yeah. It's just Trump gets up there, spouts nonsense, contradicts himself, pushes a drug that's not tested, and he has financial interest in, and that's it.
You should just let the doctors go first. Then I can tune out. Let Tony and Debbie open up, then I can bounce.
Yeah, and I don't think the press conferences are working for him. I think we're going to see a lot less of Trump at these pressers because his numbers have gone back to pre-pandemic numbers. So, I mean, normally, look at what a boost George Bush Jr. got after 9/11.
Well, yeah, I was reading. I think is this the Politico article?
Yeah, I think I was reading.
Well,
You're
it talks
probably
about
reading the same article.
the rally
yeah.
around the flag effect that most presidents would get in something like this. Like
Absolutely.
Jimmy
Any kind
Carter
of
went from
tragedy.
31 to 50 because of the Iran hostages, and
Yeah.
Trump just never saw that effect.
Trump saw like a 6 to 8 point boost, and they were like, "On this day, he became presidential." Oh, and then he went back to becoming non-presidential today. So yeah, I don't think that he's going to be doing many more of these if he doesn't see the big numbers.
Well,
he's got to call it on his, on his say so, right? Oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I decided that these were a waste of time, or that the doctors were handling this, or whatever. It can't be because he saw the Nielsen numbers. And he didn't beat Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Well, too, also, it's, to me, talking to my wife, it seems like, at least from the doctors as well, the oh shit, vibe in the room seems to have kind of gone down, too. So, I mean, and it's good.
Bricks
That's what we
was saying
want.
that social distancing is actually working, right? That we're seeing some progress. I mean, we've talked about the kind of plateau that we're seeing in New York.
Mm-hmm. Even though they had another record death day. I still don't know how that works. But
well, again, the plateau. They're looking at number of new cases. They can't do anything about existing cases that are already going terminal. So yeah, that's positive. It's working. Mm-hmm. Although, if you ask Laura Ingraham, it's not that the warnings about social distancing and washing hands are working. It's that maybe this was just all overblown anyway, and we did all this for nothing. That we all stayed home and ruined the economy for nothing, because it turns out that this coronavirus is just not as bad as we thought. You fucking cunt.
Can just the rest of her advertisers pull out?
I am really not a violent man, but I cannot actually watch her talk because I have the overwhelming need to kick her teeth in.
Dude, that's how I felt Sunday morning watching that asshole in Louisiana, that preacher. My wife's like, what's wrong with you? Like, I want to fucking punch the TV right now. Like, this guy is irresponsible. Like, he's got 27 buses. Like, you're going to be able to connect a body count to this fuckhead. Yeah. Like, that's, ugh. I told her, I said, it's irresponsible to put him on TV. But I said, but that's why he's on Sunday morning at 8, because nobody's fucking watching.
Well, old people are watching.
It's true. But yeah. So no, I understand what you're saying about being enraged when someone's on the TV lately.
Yeah. So Biden is, we're back to pre-coronavirus numbers on that too. But Biden has an 8-point lead in recent polls to beat Trump in the 2020 election. So I think we're going to see some hardcore panic mode out of Trump and his administration in the coming months.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't ride that jobs report anymore, buddy. 'Cause that shit is gone. That shit is obliterated. That shit is now the opposite of what you wanted to say.
I can't wait to hear him talk circles around himself, trying to say about, how much worse it would have been if he wasn't here to save us. He's going to look at 30% unemployment and go, well, some people, I've heard 40% if Obama was president, would have been 80%. We would have shut down the country. We would have left the earth. We would have had to abandon the whole planet.
That's politics, though. He would just put his special brand on it, like you're saying. Yeah, the earth would have ended. I saved all mankind. Yeah, that's the twists he puts on it.
Yep.
I'm telling you, the Make America Great Again is going to be just ramped up too, because we're going to be allowed outside again. The economy's going to get back going. He is just going to ramp that shit up. We're going to be making America.
And we're going to have to hear
It's going to be our patriotic duty to make America great again, because he's also the president right now. So,
and we're going to have to also hear about how the Democrats tried to ruin our country, like literally tried to drive our economy into the ground with panic. That's all the maggots are going to talk about.
If his strategists are smart, because that'll get him to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, believe me. If my job was Republican strategist for the Trump campaign, that's what I'd be going for.
Yep. Talk about they took our jobs, pretty much.
But I'm also assuming that if I'm a Republican strategist for the Trump campaign, I have no morals, absolutely zero. So I would have no problem doing that.
That's generally for a political strategist. You have no morals. But that might be where you and I differ.
What, on having morals?
No, I'm saying if you're a political strategist
I
in
know.
general.
Yes.
I don't care what letters by your name. You have sold your soul to the
it
devil.
It is kind of like a lawyer job, right? I mean, sure, you would think that, like anything, at some point you'd run up against moral obstacles, but should you really? I mean, you shouldn't be making moral judgments about the people who are paying you to represent them. You should be making logical and legal judgments.
Well, if you're going to be making moral judgments against people who give you money, get used to being poor.
Yeah.
And you're never going to work for any big corporation. You're never going to work for anyone other than yourself.
That statement should just be printed on a T-shirt and given away to everyone who graduates.
Right?
Just a healthy reminder.
Yeah.
If you're going to continue these moral judgments of people who are handing out money.
Yeah. Yeah. Just stay at your parents' house.
Let's see. Let's cut out the middleman. Just move straight into the basement.
See if they'll sign the house over to you after they die. Because that's the only way you're getting it. Or a house. Or living inside.
Maybe, I wonder if Trump actually does bow out of these press meetings, these press conferences. Maybe we'll get to see some of his new hottie.
Oh, his new press secretary. I don't know what her name is, but they can keep putting pictures of her in my Google News feed.
Kayleigh McEnany. It's McEnany. I think it's McEnany. I don't know. It's not McEnany. McEnany, something like that. And of course, Kayleigh, Kayleigh.
Ah, so a millennial.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know much about her. I was wondering why my Twitter feed was suddenly full of her spouting nonsense. And I was like, oh, she got a job in the Trump administration. That makes sense. Apparently she was saying, like, well, when the SARS outbreak hit, Obama went golfing, to which the reply was, well, yeah, because he wasn't president.
Oh, SARS?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Bush. Obama was H1N1, idiot.
Right. She's also a birther. So.
Oh, God. No. Can't be smart and hot.
Wonder why you picked her.
Yeah. Well, especially if it's press secretary. When you're the White House press secretary, your job description might as well say presidential mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Again, we're back to no matter what administration. That is your job.
Yep. And that's your only job, right? So all this criticism of her, having crazy opinions about stuff, like, who gives a fuck? Nobody's paying her for her opinion.
Yeah.
That's not her job. And I'm not saying that like derisively, like, oh, she's just a hottie and nobody cares no, nobody's paying me for my opinion. Nobody's paying most people for their opinion, right? We just have jobs that we do, right?
Yeah. Your
it's
job.
When I send off my work to my boss that is complete, it is not my opinion.
Correct.
It is, hey, this work is complete. Here you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Her job is to be the presidential mouthpiece, to stand up there and give us.
So her being a birther, her having, not getting her dates correctly, or just being an idiot and a sort of excuse for a political pundit, that's all besides the point. Her only job is to get up there and toe the line, and that's not a criticism either. Every press secretary's job is to get up there and toe the line. They should be delivering the message that was prepared by the White House. That's it.
Yes, and if they are not,
so
they are bad at their job. And they will not have it much longer.
Yeah. So, I mean, even the criticisms that were lobbed at, what's her name? Kathy, the sad sack.
Oh, Huckabee Sanders?
Yeah. Like, she's just, like, she has no other answer for you. You realize that, right? Because you know why? She's not making this up. She's not giving you her opinion. She's telling you what she was told.
Yeah. And then the rest of the job is doing the tap dance when the press tries to crucify you.
Yeah.
And that's where having the same beliefs as the president comes in handy.
It does make it easier to tap dance. Yeah.
Well, you want to know, it's someone on your team, right? Someone that's going to speak for you, like you, say things that you would say. Like Sean Hannity isn't getting a job as anybody's press secretary in any Democratic administration anytime soon.
Yeah, he wouldn't have any credibility.
Yeah. But at the same time, Trump ain't hiring Rachel Maddow either. You want someone on your team. And whatever, I know, check my misogyny, but yeah, she's hot. At least
very much so.
Isn't this the same position it was held? Didn't Hope Hicks have this position for like a second?
Well, there was...
Or was she a different press
There was
thing?
somebody... No, you're right. But there was somebody that... I don't even remember. They didn't even have a press conference.
It was the one right before. The person she just... who was... We don't even know who she was. The person she replaced, who replaced Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, I guess she was just a seat filler. Trump was like, man, not hot enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, put her in the back office somewhere.
I don't want to bone you. Next.
Are we all out of blondes?
Yeah.
I thought I said I wanted a blonde.
Calls up Rupert Murdoch, the secret stash of blondes. He knows a guy who knows a guy.
Unregimented. ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net. Unregimented.
Apparently, Trump is like beefing with the WHO. I don't know if I know where this started, though.
It's like anything else. Said they did a bad job. He's trying to shift the blame. He's trying to say that they're the ones.
That makes sense.
And again, we talked about this pre-show chat. Hey, Donnie, 2 weeks ago, this guy was saying you did a good job. Said he approved of how the United States was handling this. I blame his people. I blame his people. We know about this, right? Aren't his news briefings supposed to include things that say positive things about him every day?
Right. Maybe he didn't make it bold enough.
Yeah.
Should have double underlined and highlighted it. I guess the, what's his name? The WHO leader. The leader of the WHO.
Roger Daltrey?
Yeah, that guy. Director Tedros Adhanom. Come on, man. We'll just call him Teddy. Director Teddy said, please don't politicize this virus.
Well, for this guy.
And later urged political leaders to please quarantine politicizing COVID.
Dude, this guy's about a month too late. So.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for playing.
But I enjoyed the reading the reporting around this as well, because, CNN and MSNBC are like, well, let's see. I have here NPR's headline, please don't politicize this virus, who head says after Trump threatens funding. Fox News headline on it was, WHO leader lashes out at Trump. Yeah. Surely, yeah, that was a lashing out. And not just a reasonable response. And of course, Trump had mentioned in in one of his press conferences that he was going to pull the funding for the WHO. Because he didn't think they were doing a good job.
Terrible ban.
And about 10, 15 minutes later, a reporter asked him, is a pandemic the right time to pull funding from the World Health Organization? And Trump said, I didn't say I was going to do that. And the reporter was like, yeah, you did. He's like, we were just looking. It was just something we were talking about.
I get what they're doing, but at the same time, I watch these guys day after day, especially people like Jim Acosta, and it's like, stop wasting energy arguing with him. Like I get it. You're a reporter, duty for the truth, all that. Great. You don't know who you're. Like, especially Jim Acosta, you're at every briefing.
It's not a waste of energy. Look, he's going to be up there anyway, right?
Saying, you don't know who you're talking to at this point?
Yes, they do know who they're talking to. Trump's going to be up there for as long as he wants to be. So, and it's going to be reported on whether Jim Acosta asks a question or not. Jim Acosta has a job. His job is to go and ask questions of the president, right? Mm. So, is he going to get any reasonable information from the president by asking him questions? No. The only reason he's going to get anything whether it's an actual response that's newsworthy or anything, is by tripping him up somehow. Possibly catching him in a gotcha.
Just even, and now we've proven even when you catch him in a gotcha moment, he's just going to be. So just
that's fine.
Just do it.
What else are they going to do?
Well, I'm saying just do it. Write it down. Put it on paper.
What would you prefer they ask?
Well, no, I'm just saying just do it. Write it down. Note it. Just move on. Let him think he's right, and then just make him look like a fool in the paper.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to rope-a-dope his ass. Just fucking tire him out. Just keep him wrapped up with dumb questions. Keep him from talking about the virus at all. Argue with him. Talk numbers.
Right.
And then he'll get tired. He will eventually leave the podium.
Yes. That's true. When you give him a question he doesn't know, he throws one of the doctors up there. Yeah. I think Debbie can answer that. Tony's got the answer to that.
Yeah, Tony says we're not going to be shaking hands anymore. And I'm like, right on, Tony. High five.
No high fives either. No more hand to hand.
No, high fives are quick. The germs aren't that fast. Like a handshake gives them time to jump from one hand to another. High five, they're like stunned and they're like, what just happened?
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
But also at the same time, at the same time, wasn't Fauci saying it looks like we might be at the top of the hill?
Again?
I guess, but today he said it. It was part of the interview he said today. It looks like things are...
Well, look, I don't really want to know about... Don't tell me about we may be at the top of the hill. Let me know when we're on the way down already.
Right. Maybe he's tired of everyone looking at him like he's the Grim Reaper. Maybe you want to be like John Krasinski and give you some good news once in a while. Hey, we're at the top of the hill, everybody.
Right. Yeah, people are like grabbing him by the collar on the street. Like, is my grandmother going to die?
Maybe security detail was a wake-up call for him. Maybe I got to start saying nice things.
Yeah, he's just like, we're almost through this. Just keep positive for another day, please.
But also, too, he also could be pulling an airline pilot on us, right?
Yeah.
Where everything's another 20 minutes.
Yep. Yeah.
Tony, can't help but saying you said we'd have been at the top of the curve for a month and a half. Well, hopefully it doesn't get there.
It's just a stalling tactic.
Yeah, right. 4th of July. Oh, no, we're about there, guys. It's crazy.
Yes. You are the 4th caller in line.
Yeah.
Your wait time is approximately 5 minutes.
16 hours.
Yeah.
I did something the other day, asked for a call back, never got the call back.
Yeah, I actually call in places now.
Yeah.
I had to, I've been trying to fix my phone with Comcast. My voicemail doesn't appear on my phone. And I actually just went to the chat and chatted with somebody. It was much nicer because you're not frustrated in the moment. You're not on hold forever. I was doing other things and a message would pop up and it'd be like, yeah. It was the same talking in circles, talking to a complete fucking moron conversation that I have every time I talk to somebody at Comcast. But at least it was done in a more pleasant manner.
Yeah, you could do other things while doing it. Yeah, I like the chats. I do those at work when I got to do things because I can still do my job and do that instead of having to dedicate an hour of my fucking day to talking to an idiot.
So yeah, I can't even imagine working a phone bank right now. Just having all day people going, I lost my job. What are we going to fucking do? I lost my job.
Yeah. Go ahead. You could ask for the money all you want. There's no money to give you. Yeah. I'm sure those people are just told to keep it positive and tell them, I don't know what you tell somebody like that.
Well, I made a run today to Target was one of the places that I went. I stocked up on coffee.
Nice.
And I got a book for my daughter and I pre-ordered the stuff and just, went to the service counter to pick it up.
See, Mandy tried to get me to do that, and I told her, like, no, I still want to go, because I went out today, too. I said, no, I still want to go in and get it. She's like, why? I said, because I don't know the hygiene of the person handing me that shit.
You don't, see, I thought about that, too, but here's the thing. It's something that you have a modicum of control over, too. You can make a judgment on that person. You can make note of what they have come in contact with. And you can also do, like the guy who helped me at the counter, very unhelpful. Target was very slow. I had a lot of employees that were just standing around. And this guy definitely did not want to help me. Like one of those people that do the absolute bare minimum.
Yeah.
The only reason he asked me for my ID is because I didn't hand it over to him. And he kept trying to grab it from me too. I was like, I'm just going to hold this up.
Yeah.
So I held up my ID for him to see my name so he could type it into his thing because that's all he's going to do. And so he looks at my ID. I'm holding it in front of him. You know, he goes to grab it and I kind of pull it away. I'm like, I'm just going to hold this if you don't mind. And so he looks at my ID. He types. He looks up on my ID again. Type. And then type. And I'm standing there with my ID in front of him. And he's not looking at it. And he's not looking at it. And he's completely done with it. He's got all the information he needs. But he can't even manage like a grunt to say, oh yeah, I got it. This guy was like monosyllabic asshole.
Did you want to be like, well, this is why the entire world is at home right now. And you're working.
Yeah.
Nice attitude.
How is it? You're essential? That's what I felt like telling him. You're essential. And his manager's right over there. Like, you could, there had to have been two different floor managers or department managers, something like that. They were having a conversation off to the side. And I wanted to turn to them and like, this guy, this is one that you kept.
Well, it's also a misconception that's, at least that I've kind of picked up on the temperature of the room on social media right now with that. But no mistake, you are not essential. Your position is essential.
Yes, your job is essential. You are replaceable.
Yes. Do not get it twisted, I believe, as the kids. When I say as the kids say, that means the kids said it like 10 years ago. Yeah. It is not you. It is your position. I think we went over this with the the Instacart strike. Which, by the way, you haven't heard much about that, huh? Sir.
Oh, yeah.
With 3 million people unemployed. Sure, Instacart went, yeah, okay, cool. Let us know. We're just going to sift through the 100,000 applications we got last week. We'll be good.
I also topped off my tank while I was out. And,
how much? Under 20?
I had maybe just under a half a tank still. That took me forever to go through. And I just knew that prices at $1.29, like I'm not going to see that again. Actually, the place I went to ended up being $1.19. I'm just like, it's not getting any lower than this, and I'm always going to use gas, so I may as well.
The last time I got gas was like March 12th, and I still have a quarter tank.
So I got over a half tank of gas in it. I spent like $8, and I'm like, wow, this is insane.
It's one of the best lines I've seen about gas came from my cousin on Facebook. I don't know if she saw this somewhere, or maybe she's just as clever. That's hilarious. Said, yeah, right now I'm getting about 3 weeks to the gallon.
Yeah.
that is correct.
Well, some of this is going to go away, I think, because I think that the Saudis are talking about ramping up production. I'm sorry, not ramping up. They're finally ramping down production because they've been producing full steam ahead as part of their price war with Russia. So I think they're finally backing off of that.
Their best customers in rehab right now, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
We get out of rehab in 30 days, you'll be back in business.
Right. When the Saudis went, what's the worst that could happen? They didn't think that a barrel of oil going into negative numbers was the worst case scenario.
Yeah, that wasn't even in the playbook for them.
Yeah. So, not good timing.
It's not good timing for anything.
Not good timing to play your hand in your oil war there. Good time for alternative energy, though.
Fauci said things like handshakes are pretty much what's going to happen to things like comedy clubs or things like, we're old musicians, like small clubs. Like, are those just done?
I think public places are going to adopt a modicum of having things like sanitizers. There's even, I think we're probably going to see a lot more of these, I don't even know what they are, but I think it's this UV light, and you can just stick your hands under the light, and it's supposed to zap any of the germs. I think you're just going to see, much like the airports, right? The airport, 9/11 didn't make us more prone to terrorism. If anything, our response to 9/11 made us more secure in our flight, which was the intended response. But it didn't. It also made people more nervous about flying. So the procedures that they went through to the changes that were made to air flight were twofold. One, on the side of things that we hope will actually decrease the opportunities for terrorists to take over a plane. And the other side, what can we do to make people feel better about air travel? And there's going to be a lot of measures that they might just be half measures. They might not actually be efficient. They are just going to placate our feelings. They'll be a balm for our anxieties and allow us to go out and do the things that we want to do again.
Absolutely, because most of the airport security theater, most of that is just there for peace of mind. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of theater going on in our public spaces.
Sanitation theater.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It will make us safer. It will decrease the chances of an outbreak spreading this fast in this way again. You know, it will actually work. But I don't think that I don't know. Like a comedy club is one thing. I was thinking more about like an actual concert, places where like a comedian seems to be able to make a decent living if he can pack out a decent sized room at a comedy club, which is going to be less than 200 people and all sitting at chairs, you know, at little tables kind of away from each other, versus I want to go see a Modest Mouse concert. I'm going to be on a floor with everybody else standing shoulder to shoulder.
See, I think if
how does that work?
Because if sports comes back, concerts will be fine because it's the same.
Well, like sports, still you have at least a seat in most cases. You don't have general admission for sports. Like, how do you do social distancing at St. Andrews?
Well, that's what. To me, that's what
bad example because not everyone's from Detroit, but it's a mid-sized venue.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, I guess when I say smaller clubs, I mean I guess I'm talking about everything that's not an arena. Like, is that it for everything that's not an arena size?
Yeah. I think that if you can, because first of all, restaurants will come back. Not all of them. Maybe we won't have the same amount of dining out, but we will still have the same amount of not wanting to prepare our own food. So that won't change.
Yeah.
So restaurants will recover and we will learn to adapt. And if restaurants can do it, then coffee shops and comedy clubs and many other things. I think, the biggest thing I would probably still be like public gyms and like more open venues, like concert venues.
Yeah.
You know, where like, you know, a concert, you're just going to bump into somebody and it's not going to be a big deal, right? You know, you just don't randomly bump into people when you go to a sporting event.
Well,
there'll be fights constantly. You might occasionally.
The concourse.
There's so many people.
Yeah. But then again, two stadiums now are bigger. It's not like it used to be where everyone's jammed packed.
Yeah. And you don't press your way through people to get to where you need to go. You don't literally have to like turn your body sideways and shove your shoulder through a crowd.
But they also say that, what have we been hearing? You got to be within 6 feet of somebody for 15 minutes. So, I mean, that's...
I don't know about that. Because if they were talking about airborne virus being aerosolized, I can cough and then you can walk through my wake and inhale that aerosolized virus. So I
think that's why
I don't get where the right. Yeah, but why the time limit? Like, what does 15 minutes make?
Well, that I do not know.
I really don't think it takes 15 minutes for a virus to be aerosolized and make its way over to another person. It travel 6 feet. It's a slow ass virus,
right? We're learning about this thing every goddamn day.
We're all going to be bubble boys.
Yeah, exactly. Saw a thing on the internet today. You know,
can we get on this virtual sex stuff too?
Right.
Because when everything comes back, that's the real problem. What's going to be the disease vector once we all learn to incorporate social distancing and proper hygiene into our daily lives? Prostitutes. Guys would raw dog a prostitute and then be like, no, I can't shake your hand.
Thank God I am not single.
Yeah.
Because that is a good thing. How's dating work in post-COVID world before a vaccine? Do you just say, well, fuck it, I'm getting
Don't
laid?
ask me. I didn't know how it worked before, so I'm hoping now to have a leg up in figuring out the new system.
Right. Marty used to not hanging out with people.
Yeah.
You're ahead of the game. You're trendsetter. You're cutting edge. You were not hanging out with people before we all had to not hang out with people.
By the way, listeners, sorry about the coughs. I'm just asthmatic, and I also vape, so it's not COVID.
Well, we learned the other day you can't
I have allergies.
You can't get it by listening because otherwise Earl would have infected everybody. Plus, we sterilized our audio stream after Earl left.
If you could get it by listening, then Trump would be immune.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, everybody, that's it. Thursday, made it through another week, almost. Thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Unregimented, on Twitter at UnregimentedPod. Email is unregimented@ChristopherMedia.net. You can listen on Spotify, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio app. I'm sure I'm missing something. ChristopherMedia.net, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I'm sure I said something twice. I always do. New listeners, welcome. Spreaker. I believe I said it. I know, right? I should have a list.
Yeah.
I heard that's what professionals do.
Yeah, how do people do this anyway?
Yeah, right?
Somebody must have figured out a system.
Yeah. Make sure you rate us, leave a review if you'd like, pass it on if you like it. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
See ya.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.